why is it that just before the dawn of COVID, 2 days before COVID, we lost a very great spirit in Utatu Credo Moto. And I'm asking myself, was he trying to create a path? Was he trying to cleanse the earth? Was he trying to bring in a signal that says the earth was too dirty and therefore we needed to have someone like him that is sacrificed by all the gods so that he can go carry the right medicine, carry the right heart, carry the right wisdom to help us cleanse the earth. Because I'm just thinking, Jebuti, if we did not have Credo Mutwa die, who was going to be there to cleanse the earth? Because I don't think we had someone that we really trusted, someone that was not attached to, to anything evil, because a lot of the people that we have now are people that are either attached to, colonial masters or attached to, corrupt politicians, and you can't make those people to help you cleanse the earth. You needed to have someone with a very pure spirit, and I cannot think of anyone as pure as Utatu Credo Mutwa.
COVID yangiphatha kabi kakhulu ngoba ugogo umzilikazi ugogo othwasisayo olaphayo ukuthi maqhamuka iCovid lesifo lesi kwaba kubi kakhulu ngoba benginabantwana abala ekhaya bokufanele ukuthi ngibaphelezele ngathola ukuthi manje ngiba stuck nabo ngapha ngineyiguli kakhulu ugogo umzilikazi uyelaphe nabantu abagulayo amahlanga ngathothi ngineyiguli enginazo phakathi kwekhaya ngathothi zavaleleka mafaka ukuthi zihambe umosheke nje izinto eziningi amathwasa nami nabaguli ebengibalapha nabo kuyaba kubi kakhulu.
On one side, yes, it's been validated that it's a real thing, but then on the other side, we keep being told that there are no cures, right? And on the other side, in South Africa specifically, we have a 90% recovery rate. For me, recovery means cure. So my outlook to COVID has been a rather positive one. I haven't seen it necessarily as a pandemic. I really see it as something that is being overrated and misconstrued, and that does cause panic in the society because not many people are health experts on what is disease, what is a pandemic. People are just being informed and taking the statistics as they receive it. For me personally, I've found COVID to be a blessing, in the terms of the lockdown regulations that we received. Many people got to spend time at home with their families, and in there many people got to work through their actual issues.
To me, it was an eye-opener as a traditional healer, because COVID-19 to me, based on how do I unpack what is COVID-19, it's at least multiplier itself, several times. We know it's a combination of, flu and other things that are known to traditional healers, are known to other, health practitioners. It's just this time it has multiplied itself, and it has shown that we should always keep guards. We should always, when as traditional healers, we should always be one step ahead. As a traditional healer, it has made me that when I diagnose a person, I must, ngijule, I must go deeper and look at the symptoms rather than the symptoms or the signs that the patient has brought. We normally look at a patient because of he's got this scar, and you don't go beyond the scar itself. So COVID-19, it has made us that as traditional healers, we should actually beef up our practice. We should go beyond, we should work hard, we should make sure we protect, our people in terms of illness. But it has caused a harm because our country has lost a lot of people. So as traditional healers, we must now begin to work hard and make more research on traditional medicine and actually to work hand in glove with other health practitioners, because if the disease is multiplying itself, so it needs us to come jointly as traditional healers. It needs us as traditional healers work with other primary health care givers so that we can take this this COVID-19, this so-called COVID-19, head on and give it a tough time to not to kill our people.
My personal experience with the virus itself has been that as traditional healers or as indigenous knowledge system people, we have not been given enough coverage or enough space or airtime to can at least assist the government or at least heal the people that are infected with this virus. And personally, I believe that we've got and we've had the cure, or we've had at least immune suppressants of that particular virus for many, many years. It's just that they were not explored.
Firstly, when President announced, I'm sure you were listening to television, when President announced that there's a state of emergency, the one thing that concerned us was that he said we are going to lay off all of the other sectors from their workplaces, but healthcare workers. The concept of healthcare workers is quite a big concept. Because according to the National Health Act, when you say a person is a healthcare worker, you cannot exclude traditional healers. And that is why, after he mentioned that, but was not clear on traditional healers.
Njengathatha ngokuthi thina ku-government azange sabala ndawo ngoba sesahlala, azange sikhona ukusebenza, azange sikhona ukwenza lutho. And nabantu even iguli zethu bezingakhona ukuthi zingasithemba ngoba bathi angithi umuntu ahlala lapha ahleli khona nathi sihlala lapha sihleli khona, and nama ngizokungenisa abantu lapha phakathi kwekhaya ngisuke ngasaba sona lesifo lesi esibe khona.
Most of our members worked throughout the COVID and has not had any problems. So I speak for myself, particularly here. I worked extremely hard during that time, and I made lots of money.
Even now, we're still finding it difficult for some members to recover from the tragedy of the talk by the president. So it's really painful. It's really painful, and would like politicians to be careful, to try and look from all sides and all angles before they can say anything. Otherwise, it really can kill good businesses. It can really kill independent institutions like our institutions. We never rely on government for anything.
I believe that with the knowledge that we have been given by our ancestors, if that has been tapped into by government, by our leaders out there, we could come up with much better solutions that are able to be accepted by your layman. If, for instance, we take a traditional Zulu man who has a cough, they would rather want to take amakhambi from me than to go to the hospital to go and get an antibiotic there. We've got an antibiotic. The very same antibiotic that has been done by the white man or by pharmacies is coming from the very same medicines that we use. So we have it in a raw form.
Some people say there is no space for traditional medicine. Yes, there is no space for traditional medicine. Remember, in this country, we are the only country in the world that does not have a traditional medicine policy. Isn't it weird? I think it should be something else. We don't have a policy. We don't have a law even that enables traditional medicine to be provided to people. But we are in a country where it gives Western medicine. With all its deformities, with all its problems, it gives Western medicine the right to treat people. It gives allied health. Allied health is your Unani tip, it's your Unani tip, Ayurveda, all of these sister sciences. Those ones are the ones that are allowed in this country to practice traditional medicine. Isn't it strange that in your country of origin, you are not given the right to practice, you are not given the right to formulate a medicine of your own, as in African traditional medicine. If you have to formulate traditional medicine in this country, you have to call it homeopathy, you have to call it allied, you can't call it traditional medicine. And these are the things that we are fighting today to get right. To say we cannot be in Africa but not have our own medicine, being allowed to, being allowed to trade here. So trading in traditional medicine is a crime in South Africa. You can't trade in traditional medicine. So if you're saying you want these big conglomerates, these big shops, to absorb traditional medicine, what is the law that you're going to use? We don't have a law of our own.
On one side, we've got the government, we've got the National Indigenous Knowledge Systems Office, putting out projects out there through the Departments of Science and Technology's Tech and Innovation Unit, where they're setting up a whole herbaceutical industry, where they're putting out, they're creating research facilities on one side. On other sides, they're making products, they're signing deals with companies like Tiger Brands and Unilever, to try and get these products out there. But then again, it's always closed off to a small few.
I'm glad that working hand in glove, the government has now begun. Now I would say this, because of the government has now started to talk with traditional healers. And I should think it is because they saw that no science is the jack of all trade. And that is why now they're beginning to talk with different traditional healers about, quite number of plants that can play an important role in immune boosting and so forth.
I've got two forms of curriculums. When a person comes in on day one, they're coming in off the streets, they've never experienced this. We've got a booklet that has got your rules, the 3.5 months program that is teaching you how to behave, how to connect in amadlozi wakho. We've got the same booklet teaches you itakazelo. Like every clan angithi ine itakazelo. So when you twasa here, there's a specific itakazelo that a child has to know, both in isinguni and isindawo. And then we've got all the information that is like sort of your low-hanging fruit to get in touch in amadlozi wakho. We've got that booklet.
Develop a curriculum. For who? Who are we trying to please? You. We can't please you. Not with our lives anymore.
Ake ngithathe isipho sami ngisise ebalungwini ngisise bo-discam ngoba isifo esadalwa ubaba omkhulu ukuthi into nathi esiyodla ngayo esiyophila ngayo.
And that is why we are saying for this knowledge to be guarded well, we need to deliver it in our own language so that you are able to protect it. Otherwise, there is no way, because there are concepts that you can never find an English word for it. You will never. No matter how hard you try and look in the books, you will never. They need to be communicated in an indigenous language to make sense to you.
So the role of indigenous healers, and I'd say this again, is to just do their job. Keep treating the people. That is their role. Before, during, and after any pandemic, their role It's been like that since the indigenous times, because primary health care comes from the indigenous people. The Western medicine, which we call tablets or syrups, all come from herbs, which were learned from indigenous people. So there should be no reason to exclude indigenous health practitioners at any point, at any level, from participating and contributing, to whatever illness is plaguing the society in any part of the world.
A fully empowered knowledge holder, for me, it is someone that is arrogant, someone that is proud, someone that speaks with authority, someone that is ethical, highly ethical, someone that is highly professional, someone that knows she's accountable to communities, accountable to the families of the patients, someone that is accountable to even me, and it was love. So I just cannot walk over a patient and do as I want, because I am empowered. I know that by providing good healing to this person, I'm further empowering myself. And if there's anything bad that I do to this patient, it will reflect badly on me. We could have someone like Utatu Credo Mutwa, Isanusi, that goes before the actual lockdown, to go prepare, to go cleanse, because he understands our earth desires. He understands what is it that on earth himself he did not want. Because each time you speak to him, when we visited him in his home in Soding, in Kuruman, he would always say, I wish I could go, because what is currently happening on earth is really uncalled for. And I feel I do not want to be part of the death that is happening around us. So I know that the kind of broom, for cleansing the earth was the right broom, and the kind of spirit that had to lead the cleansing exercise was the best spirit. So I'm confident that after all of this, something bigger and better is going to emerge to abantwana bedlozi. Abantwana bedlozi, he was very particular with people that did not have a polluted spirit. He was very, each time he would talk to you, he would tell you that there's one thing that you never should trade for. It was not to throw away your spirituality for anything Western and anything. So I trusted him on that one, and I know that even in this difficult time, we have someone like him who's going to be taking care of all of us.